These are really, really exciting days for Emerge. God is opening up some really, really neat doors. When I came to Emerge as the president in January of 2011, my wife Debbie and I felt that God really put on our heart that in addition to being the good ambulance at the bottom of the cliff, that we also needed to help people build stronger fences at the top of the cliff. Because once we've experienced the pain of failure, or the pain of rejection, or the pain of a marriage breakup, healing can come, but how much better it is if we can prevent some of those things from happening in the first place. And so we begin to really work on preventive type of ministry. We've introduced the marriage tune-up, which is just really doing very, very well. And pastors are coming in from all over and are with their spouses and are sitting down with a counselor in what we call a marriage tune-up. Not because their marriage is in trouble, not because they have any issues, because they just want to keep a good marriage going and actually strengthen it. Sort of like taking the car in for a tune-up. We don't take a car in for a tune-up to get it working, but to keep it working. And so the marriage tune-ups are going really, really well. God is opening up doors for healthy pastor seminars across America. And just recently I returned from Tanzania and Malawi, and I'm talking with the national churches there about what can we do to provide preventative mental health care for the pastors of those countries. So it's really exciting to see some of the new opportunities that God has given us. It was almost 40 years ago that Dr. Richard Dobbins, the senior pastor at then Evangel Temple in Akron, began Emerge Ministry. God gave him this idea. Actually, it came out of their own personal pain when his wife Dolores was going through a very deep depression. So it was out of that crisis of their own experience that God led Dr. Dobbins to enroll at Akron University and complete his course of study to become a psychologist. And so he began to counsel, particularly pastors and missionaries. And as the counseling ministry grew, he was still pastoring what is then Evangel Temple. And it became evident to him that he needed to spend all of his time in building this ministry. The church was very generous and gave many thousands of dollars, scores of thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars over a period of years to help Emerge begin and launch. And so here we are today. Celebration Church has been an amazing catalyst for a variety of ministries in this city, for other church plants, for the ministries, for Royal Family Kids Camp, and certainly for Emerge Ministry. It seems like Celebration Church has a gift from God to be a catalyst to help launch other ministries in a way that allows them to flourish. It's the unselfish generosity of the people at then Evangel Temple, now what is called Celebration Church, that has made possible this ministry. And from those humble beginnings with Dr. Dobbins and then Mary Mitchell and a few others, now we have today 22 psychologists and counselors, all of whom love Jesus, all of whom are trained and are certified by the state of Ohio. And so the ministry that began in small form in the offices on Dan Street in Akron have now grown to where we are now reaching over 350 people every week. This year we will see over 16,000 people here on Mull Avenue. We've now begun a site in Aurora. We're ready to launch in the next few weeks a new site in Bowling Green. And as I mentioned earlier, the opportunity of reaching around the world. And it all began in the heart of a pastor on Dan Street in a church called Evangel Temple.